At 21, Johnson got all his father's wealth and had a loving girlfriend he wanted to marry. But his mother didn't approve and forced him to make a big choice that changed his life. What happens when family and love don't agree? Watch to find out how one choice changed Johnson's future forever. The story of Johnson's choices. Johnson grew up in a wealthy family. His father was a very successful businessman with many companies and properties. Johnson loved his father and admired him deeply. But life changed when his father passed away. At just 21 years old, Johnson inherited everything his father had built. Now, he had to look after the businesses and properties, even though he was still young. Fortunately, he wasn't alone. He lived with his mother, who guided him and tried to help him make the right choices. Though he had many responsibilities, Johnson was happy. As he grew older, he began to think about his future, especially about marriage. By the time he was 25, he had been in a relationship with a kind and caring city girl named Bella for 3 years. Bella was beautiful, understanding, and truly loved him. Johnson knew she was the one he wanted to spend his life with. So, he began to make plans to propose to her, dreaming of a beautiful future together. However, his mother didn't agree with his plans. She was a traditional woman who believed that only a girl from their village could truly understand and respect their family's customs. Bella, a city girl, did not fit into her idea of a proper wife. She feared that Bella would bring modern ways that would hurt their family. For her, a city girl might be too independent and not respectful of their values. So, she strongly opposed Johnson's plan to marry Bella. Instead, his mother suggested a girl from the village named Amarachukwu. According to her, Amarachukwu was quiet, respectful, and modest, the kind of wife she believed would fit into their family without causing any issues. She would often tell Johnson, "You need a wife who knows our ways, a wife who will honor our family traditions." Johnson was torn between his love for Bella and his mother's wishes. He tried to convince her that Bella was the right choice for him, but his mother was firm. As months passed, the pressure on Johnson grew. He didn't want to disappoint his mother, who had always stood by him. Finally, after many sleepless nights and endless discussions, he gave in to his mother's wishes. With a heavy heart, he ended his relationship with Bella, even though he still loved her. He convinced himself that maybe his mother was right, and marrying Amarachukwu was the best decision for the family. Johnson married Amarachukwu in a grand village ceremony, but his heart felt heavy. Bella moved on, but her memory remained in Johnson's heart. He tried to focus on his new life, hoping things would get better. In the beginning, Amarachukwu appeared to be a good wife. She was polite and respectful, and she tried to impress Johnson's mother with her humble and obedient attitude. It seemed like Johnson's mother had been right about her, and Johnson tried to believe he had made the right choice. However, as time passed, Amarachukwu's true nature began to show. Once she felt settled in her new home, she started changing. She was no longer the polite and quiet woman she had seemed to be. Instead, she took control over every part of the family, making all the decisions herself. She didn't respect Johnson's mother, often ignoring or dismissing her advice. If Johnson's mother tried to speak up about family matters, Amarachukwu would shut her down, insisting that she knew better. She would tell Johnson's mother, "Times have changed. You don't understand how things work now." Johnson was uncomfortable with this change, but he hoped things would improve. Unfortunately, they only got worse. Amarachukwu began to pressure him to give her control over his father's businesses. She would say, "We are husband and wife, we should handle things together. Don't you trust me?" Though Johnson felt uneasy, her constant demands wore him down. Eventually, he gave her one of the company's documents, hoping it would make her happy. But instead of helping manage the business, Amarachukwu sold the company behind Johnson's back. She took the money and used it to buy an estate in her name. When Johnson found out, he was devastated. His father had built that company from nothing, and it was an important part of his family's legacy. When he confronted her, she acted as if it was no big deal, brushing off his concerns. She claimed she was only trying to help him, but Johnson felt deeply betrayed. Johnson's heart ached, but there was more sorrow to come. Every time he brought up the idea of having children, Amarachukwu would brush him off, saying it was not the right time. Years went by, and still, she showed no interest in starting a family. Johnson's loneliness grew as he realized that his dream of a happy family seemed farther away than ever. The once lively and warm family gatherings turned silent and tense. The laughter that had filled their home faded, replaced by tension. Johnson's mother, who had once pushed so hard for this marriage, now saw the mistake she had made. She regretted forcing Johnson into a marriage that had brought him only pain and frustration. One evening, after yet another argument with Amarachukwu, Johnson's mother pulled him aside. With tears in her eyes, she said, "I was wrong, my son. I thought I knew what was best for you, but I didn't listen to your heart. Bella was the one who truly cared for you. I'm so sorry." Her words hit Johnson deeply. For the first time in years, he felt a sense of clarity. He knew that he had to take control of his life again. He still loved Bella and knew he wanted to build a life with someone who genuinely cared for him. After months of reflection, Johnson made the hard decision to end his marriage with Amarachukwu. It was a painful process, but he felt it was the only way to find peace and happiness. Once the divorce was finalized, Johnson reached out to Bella. She had moved on with her life, but when she saw Johnson's sincerity, she welcomed him back with open arms. Bella had never stopped loving him, and their reunion was filled with forgiveness, understanding, and deep love. They got married in a simple ceremony, surrounded by close family and friends who celebrated their love. With Bella by his side, Johnson's life transformed. She helped him rebuild the family business and showed true respect for his mother. Bella became a loving daughter-in-law, respecting the family traditions while also bringing her own warmth and kindness. In time, Johnson and Bella were blessed with children, filling their home with laughter and love once again. His mother was finally at peace, knowing her son had found true happiness. She was grateful for Bella, who brought joy and unity back into their family. Johnson, too, learned valuable lessons. He realized that happiness and love are more important than wealth or tradition. The choices he made in life taught him to listen to his heart and trust those who genuinely care for him. Years later, Johnson often shared his story with others, reminding them of the importance of making choices that bring peace and joy. He knew that wealth wasn't just about money or property but about the people who love and support you. In the end, he was grateful for the journey, knowing that it had led him to a life filled with love, family, and true happiness. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, drop your comments, and subscribe to this channel for more educating stories. Let us know what you learned from this story.